to the next game.
Yeah, we have Guggie versus Graash in what is probably the most difficult group to predict that we have when we first drew it. It's Graash, David W, Guggie, and Hunu. So many, these players are all very strong, but more than just, their skill level, it's the fact that they're so close in skill level between all of them.
Yeah, like this is one of the only groups where like the best player is very close and skilled to the worst player. Like if you even wanted to guess like who those players were, like these are all very very similar skilled players, very strong players, and players who I would say for the most part have a lot of familiarity like with each other's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And going into this match, we don't have enough results to say exactly where the result of this would land them, but suffice to say, a win for either player will guarantee a path into the bracket stage. Whereas being on the other end, having that loss does not guarantee anything.
Yeah, so definitely a situation where nothing's really decided, but you want to take your points where you can get them because, yeah, I mean any match can go any sort of way. Like you don't want to play someone when they're having a great day or you're having a bad day, vice versa. So every single match here going to be very very important.
Yep, and let's I think get into it. Nothing else to really talk about here. We have that group scenario happening right now, and both these players can secure their way into bracket stage. Guggie is first on the spy side, playing as Teal. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and like when I look at both of these players, I kind of see two players that
Oh, I
not
love that. I love that, but Graash sees it. Graash notices.
Yeah, I was gonna say two players that are not afraid to make plays. Like they're good players, but they're also kind of having fun at the same time, and that really comes out in their play style.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess based on that highlight, maybe they're so familiar with that sort of style that they're kind of looking out for it. So yeah, immediately getting a highlight for a cheese flirt, not something you see too often.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit unfortunate because Graash, we were pretty much the only thing in a Grash's immediate field of view when we did that, so it was a lot more noticeable in that respect. Also, Teal has a bit of a bigger start to her talking animation. She, puts her arms up pretty quickly here. Oh, we have to just step into conversation after missing the pad there. I don't think we got shot though. That being said, being highlighted for a first flirt and then going back pretty soon after for a second one, I think we might be top suspect.
Yeah, I am quite nervous for Guggie already. I mean, not only that, but we also missed a CC pad. So, yeah, I mean, the good thing is though is like there's quite a few highlights. So I think there's enough activity that like in most scenarios we're probably just dead. But the party is helping us out a little bit and probably gonna get a second chance here.
Yeah. Guggie trying to maybe find a way into statues. We do eventually manage that. Uh, Something that's interesting about this matchup for me is that Graash is very well known for being the person who likes to do a bunch of memory training, more than really anybody else in the community right now, and that is a powerful tool to be using in SpyParty, and we'll see if something like that comes out. Like this fingerprint, for example, do we get shot on this fingerprint? I imagine Graash must know that we have two.
Yeah, we're definitely somewhere in his in Grash's memory palace right now, showing two fingerprints, two inspects, and possibly seduce completed. So, kind of a scary place to be right now.
Yeah, soft tail game against a very memory heavy sniper is going to be a hard one to get past, especially when you have that early highlight. We'll see when we go for this contact. Never mind. Double agent leaves us.
Yeah, I don't know. So definitely a huge suspect, but yeah, just really need that
And in the
contact.
red.
I mean, if we haven't gotten shot now, by now, are we really gonna get shot for the contact? But yeah, like you mentioned, like Grash is that memory expert. He knows we have those prints, so yeah, maybe he really is just looking for that one last mission.
20 seconds left on this game. We will not have any overtime. Another low light. Graash, thinking about it, yep, takes that shot pretty quickly after the contact.
Finds a
Well
shot.
done.
Yeah, well done. I'm sure it wasn't helping that that was a white. So like if Graash had any doubt, that might have sent him over the edge. Um, but still, honestly, pretty solid game. Honestly, on both ends for Courtyard. Um, yeah, I mean, fingerprint inspect is about as under the radar as you can really get. But yeah, Graash just on top of it.
Yep, Graash. Seeing those soft tells, seeing the behavior, seeing that we had all four missions, perfect shot timing, and now up 1-0. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, it's not a real lead until you have two, and two is hard to get on Courtyard. That spy side can be a little tricky sometimes with the high sniper angle, but we'll see what Graash can do playing as Red Dress in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at both these players, like in my opinion, I've always highly rated like both of their spy play. Um, Graash is someone who has noticeably gotten like quite good on the sniper side lately. Um, so it's interesting, like what I'm interested to see in this tournament, like is Guggie, making the same adjustments himself. Because yeah, I mean, already, with that last round, pretty strong sniper round from Graash, and yeah, I'm interested to see how Guggie will actually answer on the sniper side.
Pretty slow start though in this particular game. Watching our ST, I imagine, will be scooting out of this conversation as soon as she settles somewhere that is decently stable, not a window pad. Because if you start running over for a window pad flirt, I imagine you're probably going to be disappointed by the time you get there.
Yeah, conversations were looking quite full, and I think we were pathing towards the DA, who decided to leave conversation right as we left and goes back to our original spot. So yeah, we are in fact going for this contact, and why not? I mean, most people at least are in conversation at the moment, so this might be the right time to go for it.
Banana bread.
Yeah, it looks like Graash does agree. So we take this contact. I can't tell if there's anyone out of conversation on the other side of the statue, but
Mm-mm.
everyone within sight is in conversation. So pretty strong contact. And luckily the DA is in one of the more full combos as well, or the SDA rather.
Yeah, and we have no flirt yet, which is brutal. Um, I think we might need a timeout or either a timeout or we need to be doing two green tests on this flirt. We do get the one, but can you risk the second one not being there? Because otherwise, the pacing is just too short.
Yeah, and it looks like we really want that
Oh,
fingerprint. Twin tried to take it away, and oh, Civ takes the bullet. So
let's
no
see
need to worry
where
about pacing.
where did this Civ go wrong? Let's see. Picks
That
up
was a pretty fair shot. I'm looking at the replay now.
fingerprint.
Well, it was
Fingerprint and
mostly what they did at the end.
Oh, it looks like Guggie was assuming perhaps a bug from this AI here on a bad rotation. So a bit fortunate there for Graash near the end as Guggie misses a rotation, isn't sure about a bug, and takes a shot. So
Oh yeah, it really looks like she did swing in for the bug, like especially the way he just panned around right at that moment. Yeah, I'm curious as to what Rocker was actually doing there. That's a very interesting occurrence.
Well, it looked like she
she
was
was
going
stopping
for
on
the
the pad.
statue. I think
Yeah.
she wanted a statue, but she had to go around Toby.
Oh, I see.
All right. Well, Guggy now on the spy side, down 0-2 already. It's never a comfortable place to be, but there's a lot of SpyParty left to be played. So, high rise here. We'll see if Guggy can start bringing it back in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so spawning right into the
Ooh,
ambassador, and we actually,
trying
yeah,
to get that bug.
yeah, that was a little unfortunate because like the arm was like completely perpendicular with the sniper, but early enough that we're not going to get shot for it. Um, I'm sure Guggy was probably hoping that he had pathed along with the ambassador, but I think he was probably expecting the ambassador to stop. Either way, not the situation you want to be in where you went for a bug and didn't even actually get credit for it.
Yeah. So, just a couple of inspects here. No flirt progress yet, but we're going to go straight into these blue book cases to get our first one. Green test, 51%. Very nice. Exactly what you want to see on high rise.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think about the early inspects? Because Yeah, I have to say, like, it doesn't feel like inspects are like too popular on this venue right now. Do you think maybe it's kind of like a timing thing? If you can just pull them off fast enough, they could be valuable.
I think it's just there is a habit of snipers right now to more or less just shoot the finisher at the statues. So, spies are pretty heavily disincentivized from doing it themselves, unless they have some reason to believe that they're not going to get shot. Like, for example, if another character is finishing statues at the same time as you, right, is a really good reason to go finish your own statues, because that splits the potential suspicion into two different parts rather than just the one, or you've done them really early so you can get an early finish in. But spies just kind of like to look for different options before resorting to the statues.
Yeah, and I think maybe Sorry might be a suspect because I think she went into statues already as a highlight and picked up an additional inspect. I don't know if it was different sets that she went to though. Um, and actually, she's brought down from a highlight, so I guess not actually too worried about her after all.
Flirt is nice and done with at this point in the game. 120 left on the clock. Half statues left to go. Again, we do have swap on. This is at the very least her second statue visit, possibly her third actually. So if we go swap for her, it would be a very interesting play. And if Graash doesn't see the fade, that might be difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry definitely has full inspects at this point, and I think she may also have bug credit because she was pathing quite close to the ambassador at an earlier point. I think if we could contact for her, she may get shot just based off of that. Um, DA though, I think DA just went to bookcase, so that might not be on the
Oh,
cards
but
right
look at
now.
this. Graash is not looking at our side of the statue. The swap comes in. We're going to finish off these inspects here. Graash now circling around to look at our statue. Who's the shot going to come off on? It's going to be Sorry. Nicely done by Guggie to find the path to getting the civ shot and to finishing himself. So that was a very clean game on high rise.
Yeah, really nice play from Guggie. I mean, honestly, it feels like it kind of feels like a rarity when you see like a proper frame game that actually works. Like, Guggie just really just paying good attention to the party and yeah, making the swap like at the perfect time. Sniper can't see the fade or anything, so like it almost like didn't even feel like a 50-50. It almost just felt like a really strong certainty that Sorry was a spy. So yeah, really well done from Guggie there.
Yeah, well done indeed. Graash still with the small lead, but needs to find a spy win to hold on to it. We'll see if that's feasible. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I don't know. I feel like High Rise kind of plays into both of these players' strengths in a way. And wow, so our ST just kind of gets drawn to us like a magnet there. Get that immediate 51% flirt, and you really gotta love that because yeah, venue like High Rise where you don't have much time, when you don't really have to worry about flirt, it really opens up a lot of doors. And yeah, speaking of that, we're actually already in with the DA as well. Pick up the a very short low lane, but not intentional. And actually, we go straight for this purloin, and it's white, so
Ooh, that's a little bit tough, but
not
does
ideal.
Guggie see it? Looks like Guggie had a view on it, but didn't zoom in, so maybe isn't 100% sure. Now is definitely seeing that it's gone.
Yeah, seeing that Wheels and Duke don't have drinks, I'm guessing there was a little bit of a chain before it got to us. So if there's no fade, then at least we're at least we're part of like a small group of potential suspects. So maybe we won't get too focused right now. But yeah, speaking of which, like already in a pretty tough position. Like we are close to finishing up the flirt. Like if we can get the flirt and the contact fairly early, um, we might have a way out. But yeah, Guggy seems to be on top of this. At least has the chain quite narrowed down.
Yeah, I mean, if you know who's in the chain as Graash, though, you could potentially be able to win this game anyway if Guggie chooses the wrong shot when that contact does come off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, right now it's a little hard to differentiate because Irish and Duke have really just been sitting in this conversation the entire game, and not much else has really happened.
Banana bread.
Yeah, so we take this contact, eliminating Wheels. I think Wheels was probably mentally eliminated anyways. And actually, that is real contact, so next flirt is really it. Yeah, Guggie is really just gonna have to take a 50-50 shot. So it's interesting because like usually white purloins are like the worst thing that can really happen to you, but actually kind of feels like we're in a nice position to find a finish here.
Yeah, if we had hit a green test on our second flirt, that would have been the game over already.
Yeah, 100%. I mean that's yeah, definitely shows the importance of hitting those greens because yeah, as we've seen throughout like many sets, there's always games where it's like, well, if only they had two greened, you know, but yeah, I guess just the reality for most of us is yeah, there's going to be some white flirts in there, and yeah, I mean
Speak
it
for
just
yourself.
yeah, I absolutely am speaking for myself in this situation, but yeah, definitely will put you in some tough situations. Like it's funny how important those small moments can matter in games
This is
sometimes.
very interesting from Graash. Like, this is not something that you need to do if you're Graash, obviously. You just need the one more flirt, but giving some extra activity that isn't, about flirting. See if Guggie wants to not shoot you at the end of this when you finally do give one more talk. Unfortunately, we are highlit while Duke is not, so I think we're the higher suspect. Here it is. Here's the talk, and Guggie all over it.
Yeah, I think we were hoping that maybe Duke can do something to get the sniper's eye off of us, but just innocently standing at the window when we're like, in the final 20 seconds. Yeah, I mean that's never going to get the sniper's attention. So yeah, a little unlucky for Graash. And good sniping from Guggie.
Yeah, good sniping, and unfortunately, we do not have that to green for Graash, but that does mean that we are even going in to Aquarium once again. So we'll see what Guggie can do on the spy side. Playing as Duke, I feel like I've said that before. I think Adaviash also played Duke on the Aquarium game. But let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so spawning with a drink, maybe taking some of our cheese options away from us. So yeah,
Bottom
just getting
shark
this.
is tougher for cheese's stuff as well, I think, in the early game for Aquarium.
Oh, that's an interesting point. I'm never really thinking about that, but I think that's where things get a little bit more advanced. Um, yeah, but yeah, just kind of taking this early flare progress. 24%, really not that great, especially for like the early game when you can kind of get away with like getting right next to the ST anyways. Um, but yeah, Guggie just gonna take some activity anyways, just going straight for this briefcase, getting the guaranteed fingerprint.
Yep, there it is. Fingerprint done. Very nice to get that nice and early. Um, of course, the longer that you have it, the more likely it is someone's going to forget. But we've been talking about Grash's memory palace, and it might be difficult to get Graash to forget.
Yeah, but kind of a scary thought too, because I mean, some players like really just aren't that on top of fingerprints, if we're being honest. But yeah, if they're seeing every little fingerprint, then really kind of takes away a lot of avenues for you. Um, yeah, Guggy not too worried about it. Still actually pretty aggressively flirting here, and I think we're in a position where we can and do finish up seduce. So okay, yeah, so goes ahead and makes his way to the bar. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Do you think feels maybe a little bit early for a delegate? But what do you think? I mean, I guess with the possibility of a contact, we
Oh, we
could
take
end
a
up making it
delegate
the fourth.
without the drink. We cheese it.
Yeah, he does go for the cheese, and I guess we are in a position where we could actually make it the last mission. I think that's generally what you would hope
What
for.
would be interesting to me is if we contact a delegate and then get to the bar first before the person that we delegate to, and then take this difficult print. Well, that's exactly what Guggie's going for here. Very nice, very interesting. I like it.
Yeah, really advanced play from Guggy
Oh,
because
we do have to demand though. That might be
oh
noticeable.
yeah, very good point. But yeah, I don't know, like someone like Crash
And
who's
we
just
missed
real.
the fingerprint.
Oh, that hurts. I feel like that was probably gonna work out for us, but did
Wow, what a nice bug from Guggie. Using that shark perfectly. That was invisible. You just have to credit it. The mission when it's pending, does this go through?
yeah, it
It
feels like this.
does.
Yeah, it
And
feels like
Top Shark is happening. Crash can't see it.
yeah. I don't think he can find the shot.
what an incredible game.
Yeah, really nice win from Guggie. Honestly, like that first play, like was brilliant. But yeah, even just like having the awareness to bail out, like get a really clean bug, and just get the finish anyways. And yeah, I don't know, like it felt like that purloin was pending for such a long time. I was afraid like maybe it's not gonna go off, but yeah, like really just good play all around from Guggie to make that win happen.
So I said that it was invisible. I apologize. I was very slightly incorrect. It is mostly invisible, but there is a slight snap back to where the arm should be in the walking animation. Um, after the bug, which isn't technically something you can notice, but it's so hard, especially when the arm is going that way anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking at that from the sniper angle, and like even zoomed in, I'm never shooting for that. Like a lot of people probably aren't, but yeah.
It looks mostly completely natural, but it is a little bit of a snap.
Oh wow, and Graash was even saying he thinks he saw it, but yeah, like I don't know, it's just tough. It's really just tough to take that shot, even if you do credit it.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, I love that Guggie saw this idea to contact, delegate, and then get that difficult fingerprint off the bar as a. It's just such a beautifully kind of like wrapped up in a bow finish, and it's something that when you can pull it off, it makes it the best spy games and very frequently wins. So I'm very impressed by Guggie just to see it, even if he did miss the difficult fingerprint, unfortunately, off that bar, still found that bug. Nice game there from Guggie, pulling ahead into that half lead. Now Graash on the spy side playing his ponytail. We'll see if Graash, started off really strong, but Guggie has just been on a tear.
Absolutely, and yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get into the next round.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I really love like watching games from both of these players because you get a fun competitive set, and you also just get like a master class on how to get wins on the spy side. Um, while many people might just like try to play slow, you know, passive games, and hope it works out. Like these guys will generally like force things to happen, which you love to see.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of high activity, proactive games from the spy side, and they have been delivering so far in this set. Guggie in particular has just been looking so good, and Graash is going to need to find an answer soon, or Guggie could be moving on into the bracket stage, while Graash would have the future be a bit more uncertain.
Yeah, and I'm sure Graash, doesn't want to be outdone here. I'm sure he sees a nice spy game as throwing down the gauntlets as now it's my turn to show you what I can do. So looking forward to that. And yeah,
This could be a
meted
bug.
51% on the flirt. ST is nice enough to join us right in that perfect range.
So this could be a bug as the shark is passing by on low shark here. The ambassador's going to path right by us in a moment. No, goes I think the wrong direction. Graash was looking for the ambassador to go above that conversation so the path out for Graash could be more natural. Unfortunately, this is a red test, and we get quite a few lowlights off of this.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, maybe what like 5 people were out or so. Conversations were looking like somewhat full, but like a little bit of activity around the time of the contact. And I wonder if I think that cough maybe gave the sniper a little bit more, or a few more lowlights since like okay, I can see these people weren't actually coughing. Luckily, the I think we had shark cover to hide the actual red test, so no worries of getting shot for that.
Yeah, we did indeed have the shark covering us up during the animation. So no instant death, but it is a pretty big problem as it did let off 3, I believe, extra lowlights. Maybe 1 or 2 of them got pushed back up to neutral as Guggie was not 100% sure about their lowlight status. But it definitely cost us. But now we do have those, kind of pacing missions out of the way. We have the contact, we have the seduce. Now we just need to get something else done, get Prince, Purloin, Swap, Inspect, something like that. Something that can happen a little bit quicker.
Yeah, this is kind of funny because like we didn't leave that conversation, and our ST was aggressively flirting for us by joining us, leaving, and coming back. So we completed seduce without like picking up any suspicion for that. So
We
if there
do
if
have a fingerprint off the statue.
oh yeah, I love to see that. So yeah, like many ways for Graash to actually finish here, but yeah, I mean, in most cases, we probably are forced to return to statues, so that's probably going to be the scary moment of if we're going to get shot or not.
Yeah, I wonder if there is a second fingerprintable statue that Graash is eyeing up, because if you're going to start prints this late in the game, I think you need to have a plan for where both of your prints are coming from pretty, clearly. And Graash, not. We don't need any more flirt, Graash. I did, have you realized that you're done with that mission?
Yeah, I think maybe not too worried about it, just because of like the unusual way that we got our flirt. I don't think we're paired in any sort of way. But yeah. So I get the intention that there weren't any other fingerprints available, or okay, I say that, and the briefcase is sitting right there. So here's one moment, but we still need one more mission.
We do indeed. We make a little bit of an awkward path into these statues. This will likely be overtime here. Yeah, this is gonna definitely be overtime, especially with the white inspect. I think we're probably going to get shot here. There's gonna be about 5 seconds of overtime. Swinging over to look at us, waiting for this overtime to happen. There it goes, beep 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 beep, and it takes a moment, but Guggie is able to eventually find that shot. I would have actually been very interested to see Graash move up into like that little corner with Damon and Rocker to get behind this shark more entirely. Because if we had been able to shark walk behind there and deny that shot from Guggie, that would have been a very personally to me annoying way to win. But I think it is the best option that Graash had in that moment.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because like with the way the statue lined up, it almost looked like we were swapping behind the shark, but of course the shark eventually moved enough to show that okay, that's not actually what's happening. Um, and I don't know, like I don't know if I'm not synced up right, but like it almost looked like he was shark walking for the wrong shark.
Yeah, maybe he thought that it was going to be the middle shark next, but
Yeah,
no, it is indeed another top shark.
yeah, because like we did have like the opportunity to get behind the shark, but like it almost looked like we're set up for middle. It yeah, I mean, maybe that's possibly what happened. Either way, like really nice play from Graash. Like like we had to rush a little bit at the end. Almost wonder if some kind of if maybe we could have just bailed on inspects and gone for some kind of bug if that would have worked out better. But no way to really know for sure. Um, yeah, yeah. With that, let's go ahead and get into the next round.
Yeah, that does mean that Guggie is now up 4-2 after having been down 0-2, sweeps two of them right back and puts himself in a nice little lead here. Now playing as Queen on Veranda. Can Guggie extend it with another masterful spy performance, or will Graash with the memory palace shut it down? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yeah, and as Cleotos has expertly pointed out, we do in fact have the wrong ST.
Oh, we're
Going for
cheesing
the
this book for sure.
immediate book cheese. Um, Yeah, did we get away with that? I wonder if that was based off of the laser positioning, because I feel like this is a cheese that's like less likely to get away with against someone like Graash, who's just so well aware of it. But no reaction so far.
Yeah, and we get the flirt. I think the fact that the RST was in the other bookcase really sold us on this idea of getting the cheese microfilm. And if we got away with this could just be Guggie running away with the set.
Cookie's actually been known to do this on Veranda. Like sometimes he'll just go crazy and just go like on these all out like blitz rushes, and I think that's what's happening right now. Um, Yeah, I love the pacing so far. Like no sniper is ever really expecting it. And yeah, like on a venue like this where it's so hard to win in a traditional manner, it's like why not just go for it? Like especially if you're
Ugh, are
pretty
we in
pretty
range for this bug? Not quite.
just out of range. That would have been a gift. But yeah, I don't know. Even if we are in range though, is that the right angle that you want to be taking?
We could have actually taken that bug right there. We pick up a highlight as if we did. I think.
Yeah,
Oh
what's funny is
no!
like I was watching that from the sniper's
Me in the
perspective,
red.
and I thought that was a bug, but yeah, apparently just an innocent path that looked a lot like a bug path.
And very unfortunate for Guggie. I think I would have taken. Oh, we do the cheese for it again. Maybe Graash saw it this time, especially after being highlight for a bug that we did not take.
Yeah, that's a I kind of feel for Guggy here because we've
Immediate
done
shot.
media shot. Yeah, like we did a lot of really good things that game, and like ultimately I think we died because of something that got phantomed.
Yeah. And I think like had Guggie decided to take that bug, we would have had the credit for one. And two, I think that Guggie probably doesn't feel the need to cheese flirt, and maybe even says, okay, well, I've just done this bug, and maybe I failed a highlight just now. I won't do this cheese flirt. And like then we just finish it with the print on the statue, and that would have been a really really clean game had we just gone for this bug. But unfortunately, we get credited with a bug where we had none, and then because of that, the cheese flirt is very clear, and Graash is ready to shoot us for that second print.
All right, let's go ahead and move into the next round.
Yeah, well, nice recovery from Graash so far, but that's, just the sniper side. Despite Guggie's very, very, that was a nice veranda game for the most part on the spy side. So Graash doing well to control that. But now we do need to see Graash pick up some spy wins of his own in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. Like, I think, we get that fingerprintable statue, like get the partial inspects, and we're really in the driver's seat to get a win there. But yeah, luckily Graash, saw what he needed to see. And yeah, once again, just starting off pretty early, flirt progress, get offered quite quickly, but not opting to go for the purloin, just taking an innocent drink and walking away instead.
Yep, just grabbing this drink. Playing it slow in this early game, it is nice sometimes to take these very innocent looking conversations where you're just in with, the ambassador and one other person. Actually, if we dump this drink, I do believe we are in standing bug range for this golden range, so I would love to see a gulp here, honestly, because it's not something that's really being tracked by snipers, especially in the early game of Veranda, where there's so much else to do. See, gulp and try to for the standing bug.
Yeah, I agree. I think we are absolutely in range, and depending on the sniper angle. Oh, yeah, I think. Okay, actually, I thought he was going for a bug right then. I think with the sniper angle, it would be quite visible.
In the end
Looks
of
like
red.
he's okay going for a contact, and maybe that might be enough to
Oh,
mask.
purloin and then bug. Wow. Then and the bugging hand, while it was towards the sniper, it was covered up by the pillar during this rotation. So we've just done so much in so little time. It wasn't a real contact for us, but that was the distraction.
Yeah, that was way more than I had in mind. I thought he was gonna just do a simple contact bug, but
I don't think
contact
Guggie's seen this, by the way, the list that it's gone.
contact green purloin bug is just an insane play. I love Graash for making that play. Yeah, yeah. How do you ever trace this back to Graash if you're Guggie? Like, especially if you're not on top of this purloin.
Yeah, at this point, I think I think it's just not going to happen. I think Graash has very, very cleanly gotten away with this.
Yeah, this feels like almost similar to the way like the last round started, where like we have some important missions in hand, but the
Yeah.
the main important factor is that like we really have no big suspicion piled on top of us right now, so like we can kind of just cruise from here.
Yeah, and Guggie does finally see it. Low lights Toby. That's how you know he's seen it. And we have 2 hardtails done, 85% on our flirt, half statues done. All we need to do are really just complete statues, complete contact, which by the way, Double Agent joins us and we split. And we're just going crazy here. Both of these spies playing proactively and getting things past.
Yeah, we do split, which is kind of funny because
Oh.
that's a very Graash thing to do. So like I think that might be why he picked up the highlight here. But actually, like there were a lot of other highlights taken as well. So yeah, I mean when you see a bunch of quick highlights like that, that really just shows uncertainty. And yeah, I mean that really just means Graash is in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, and despite the fact that Graash is a fair bit of a suspect right now, Guggie's looking for that swap. Guggie doesn't think that Graash has 4 missions with just 1 more flirt necessary right now, or else we would have already been shot. I can't imagine on Veranda of all places we get shot for 1 more flirt.
Yeah, I think you're never shooting for flirt here unless you like have some really strong like bug credit or something along those lines. Yeah, looks like Graash is probably just gonna even the score up in this situation.
Yeah, what an incredible set this has been so far. Graash starting off strong, then Guggie sweeping back 4 games, and then Graash taking down Guggie's powerful Veranda spy attempt, and then just hitting back with one of his own, all just to tie it up. This is such a fun set.
Oh, this is a great set. Like usually, I'll be honest, like usually Veranda is not one of my favorites, but when it's these two, they make it fun. They make it interesting. Um, Yeah, the match is definitely living up to expectations so far.
All right, and now we are even all going into pub. Guggy now on the spy side. Let's see. These spies have been brilliant so far. The snipers have been strong themselves. I think the spies have been a bit better than the snipers on the whole this set, but the snipers have not been weak. That's not a commentary on the snipers' strength. That's a commentary on the spies' strength in this case. So let's keep it going. Can Guggy continue that train, or will Graash shut it down in 3, 2, 1, playing it?
Yeah, and one thing I've kind of noticed up until this point is like on pub in general, like 4 of 7 is pretty hard for the spy. Pretty hard to get four missions past a pretty competent sniper. I'm hoping these players are going to show us how it's done here.
Yeah, it does take, I think, some some willingness to be bold to win spy games in adverse conditions like this. So we'll see what I can do. We do pick up that highlight for being at the bar though, and instead we go into statues.
Yeah,
We are
interesting
behind, we
choice.
are fully we're cheese swapping. We're cheese swapping, but no. Okay. It looks like it is a frame swap. We were behind the door for a long time there. I thought, oh, we go for a bug. Okay, okay,
Oh,
Guggy.
that is
I think this is a bit too much. I think we've been seeing. Uh, this is the flip side of the aggressive, proactive spy. Sometimes everything just falls apart really, really fast.
Yeah, I was seeing that from Crash's angle, and like there was a very visible highlighted hand just sticking right out, at the ambassador. Yeah, I was a little surprised he held his shot as long as he did. I think maybe just the fact that it's 4 missions, he knew he could hold out for a little bit longer.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the attempts from Guggy. You know, if we want to see the games that we've been seeing throughout this entire set, sometimes you're going to see the games like that. Sometimes you're going to see the moments where everything just doesn't quite get past the sniper and it looks really, really bad. But that's just the trade off that you make if you're playing like Guggy is. And I'm happy to make that trade any day. Graash now on the spy side. Weirdly enough, spying to take the lead.
Yep, and yeah, with that, let's go ahead and get into the next round.
Yep. And 3, 2, 1, playing it.
But yeah, nice rush attempts from Guggy. I think those are like the moments where like you look like a genius when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's pretty rough. So, um, yeah, I mean, Crash, still has to make something happen on the spy side, anyways. I'm sure Guggy probably feeling pretty confident sniping on the sniper side of 4-7 pub. So yeah, let's see what Crash has in mind so far. Just taking kind of a more conventional approach, getting some flirt progress. We do hit a green, but that only puts us up to 36%.
Indeed, 36% to start. It is enough for 2 white tests to get us all the way to 100% as long as they are close enough. So, no need for greens going forward, but Graash is pretty good at those regardless.
Yeah, kind of wondering like what yeah, it looks like we're just kind of chasing down the flirt, and yeah, with the ST and the DA in conversation, why not go ahead and take that progress as well. Most people are in conversation, so probably an ideal time to go ahead and get that contact since it might not be there for us later.
I think the one thing that would dissuade me from contacting at this moment is the fact that everyone that's inside are all the guests that have actually done things, right? They're the ones who are going to be higher suspects more frequently. You want to wait for those guests to actually be outside in conversation. It's not good enough to just say, "Oh, there's only 2 guests out." If those 2 guests are your only suspects so far, it's a pretty big cost.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Like especially with players that are they always keep frame targets in mind. Yeah, they will hold off on those contacts because yeah, those two lowlights can be way more valuable than what may be lost under different conditions. So
Yeah.
yeah, good point. I think good discipline to not take that there.
It is particularly evident on pub as well because of the difference between like the indoors and the outdoors. There are no conversations inside the pub. That's where all the mission progress is, right? on pub.
And
So if you're inside, you're not in conversation, and you probably won't be for a bit. And if you're outside, you're not really getting anything done. So it's that there's this huge difference in the mission density in the two spaces that causes this effect to just be amplified here.
Yeah, so this contact I think worked out quite a bit better. At least we retained one of the highlights. Um, but yeah, still still two more missions to do on top of Flirt. It looks like maybe Purloin's gonna be one of the missions. Yeah, still a minute left. You know, with Flirt mostly done, I think we're still in a pretty good position to at least get to that mission win countdown. Just the question is how effective is this Purloin going to be? Because like I don't think many people have been to bar lately, so this could just turn into a 50-50.
Yeah, and not even 50-50. We're delegating to a low light. I imagine we have to get a last flirt and a crash bug. This is just a little bit too much time left, doing not much. And now we don't have anything going on. Last flirt done, Purloin gone, but the shot from Guggie immediately comes off, and we stay tied up at 5. Sorry, this is now Tayen.
Yeah, good shot from Guggie. I think maybe Graash was kind of hoping like maybe the guest would help him out a little bit by eventually just going to bar, at least making it not so narrowed down to us. But yeah, I think ultimately just that Purloin going to a low light and no one else really being a potential delegator is what got us killed.
All right, we have Tayen for, as we like to say, all of the marbles here. Guggie on the spy side and Graash on the sniper. Remember, if either of these players 2-0s just this venue, they are guaranteed to move forward into the bracket stage. I don't know if it's 100% that they're going to have first place, but they're definitely into the bracket stage, and the other one still needs to fight. So it's a pretty consequential bout of Tayen here. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
All right, so yeah, starting things off with Orange Sari, who I'm sure you'll agree, very strong spy choice for the situation.
Yeah, we could have actually gone for a bug there because of how slow we are. We could have triggered it, late enough in our path by the ambassador that the arm is just never visible, and still have it take despite that.
Yeah, I was very much expecting a bug. I'm not.
Oh no!
Oh, let's
Ooh.
yeah, hit the white test. Doesn't seem like there's an immediate reaction. I think we're okay.
Yeah, it seems like we're okay, but we do get some laser onto us, and Guggie with that white test might feel like we are already a big suspect and slow down.
Yeah, yeah, a little tough. And yeah, I was really expecting the bug attempt earlier. Yeah, maybe just the timing. I don't know. Maybe it happened a little too early that we didn't really have time to fully process and react. Yeah, but instead, I mean, it is Tayen, so I think we'll probably have more situations present itself to get a bug. And yeah, we do already have at least that one film in hand. So looking okay in terms of progress. Do hit the white flirt, however, so we'll have to chase Smallman down a couple more times.
Yes, we will. We are next to the ambassador, close enough to bug, but the ambassador is going to leave, having been pushed out by Duke's presence. We are taking our second flirt, and we do have Smallman as that ST to make sure that Smallman is a suspect in this party.
Yeah, not like it's kind of interesting with the animation transfer because I mean you never like really want to go back too early, like while it's still fresh on the sniper's mind. Like, hey, he's been to this one bookcase because even if they don't see the animation, you're probably gonna get credit anyways. But actually, now that our ST is at the books, I feel like they've kind of made the decision for us because like why not go ahead and get two missions for one.
Yep. And the Graash using the fact that hovering over a character will allow you to see their outline regardless of the shadows
Oh,
in
and
the
look at
rest of
this.
the. Oh wow! Oh, this is so cheesy. Does Graash see it though? We go for a bug. I think Graash is seeing that. It marks suspicious. We didn't actually get the microphone in the book though. Oh no, it's gonna be a white test in the back, and that's super clear now that we've gotten the bug. And Graash takes at least a draw and is one game away from securing a bracket stage berth.
Yeah, that was really a really creative play from Guggie, and I wonder what happened. Because I mean, surely we were cheesing this to get the film. Like, I wonder if something canceled the animation on
I,
us,
I
or
I think he just canceled a little bit too early,
okay.
and because of that, did not get it in the first time. And if that had worked out, though, like that would have been very, very interesting to see if Graash could have shot for just the bug that was highlight for, because we would have been able to get that book in and finish off the game with those two hardtails. Could we be shot for just a bug? That would have been a very, very interesting question. But instead, shot for the white microfilm that we needed to do our third animation of that game. And Graash on the spy side, one game off. Can he do it, or will this end up being a draw and make this group even more weird? Let's find out in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yep. So yeah, Guggie, in a position just needing to hold sniper, which normally probably feels like an okay situation, but yeah, game point on Tayen, little scary. Especially against another good spy. So yeah, yeah, I'm eager to see what Graash has to do. I love that play from Guggie. Honestly, I'm interested to see what would have happened if that worked out. I've seen plays like it, but I don't think I've ever seen something like that on Tayen, like with that kind of positioning. And it was funny the way he just blended in so well. Um, Felt like it was actually going to work out, but yeah, a little rough how it ended up.
Yeah, but that's the kind of creative play that we like seeing from Guggie, and unfortunately didn't quite come to fruition this time. Smallman in the center statues along with our ST earlier on in this game. Um, so a
Yes,
very scary start to this game for Guggie.
yeah, Smallman had a huge highlight, and I think he even like gave him a little stealth highlight, which seemed a little unnecessary considering as that center statues. But um, yeah, usually things like that just shows that you're really hyper focused on Smallman right now. Especially like like
Enemy in
okay,
the
it's
red.
Graash. Like he would like try to do some Smallman shenanigans. So I'm sure that's taking a lot of his focus right now, and I
If
think Graash is also
Smallman
aware.
if Smallman rejects, I want to see Graash request a drink
Yeah.
because and just try to get that purloin going for Smallman because I think that would be an almost guaranteed shot. Although Smallman does currently have a book in hand, so
Yeah, that is true. And yeah, that would have been a great play. Like I love the idea. Like framing small men is always a good play. Honestly, I've seen it work out quite a lot. But yeah, especially now when he's been center statues on Tayen, and I'm sure he's picked up all kinds of other credit in the meantime. Going to books instead. So yeah, both players actually having books in their plans. Or let's see what Crash plans to do with this.
I think this was just for flirt potentially, but our SC did walk away from us, so we're just gonna put this back innocently. Go for something else. We did not get an actual real contact when we did ours earlier. This will be a potential take. No, Graash playing this very slowly. I think maybe trying to just get someone else shot, hoping that someone else does enough. He knows that Smallman has been these center statues, and is hoping that it's just going to be enough eventually. Failed bug with Taft on the way through. No harm, no foul, though, as it wasn't very visible.
Yeah, I agree too, and I think with Grash's usual pacing, like this does feel like a game where he wants to frame someone. He's picked his target and he's waiting for his opportunity. I mean, yeah, with the bug attempt, of course, still trying to put himself in a position where he can finish if needed. But yeah, I think
Enemy in the
okay, and
red.
he gives Smallman this white BB. Let's see if that's enough to get him shot.
Not yet. Smallman already had a contact. We're going to go in. We're going to go Purloin. It's going to be a green test. It's going to be a really quick reject, but it was at the front of the venue. Does Guggie know what's up here? We're
But
going
we
to have
still
to
need.
now keep running to go get a bug maybe or a timeout, something of the sort. But it's so weird. We're going to have to crash back right at the end of this game. But no, the ambassador's walking away from us. We're going to have to get it right here at this last second. And the shot comes off. Was that on the person that we wanted it to be? It looked like for a second the laser was over us, but I think Guggie was indeed aiming for our ST, who was picking up this briefcase, and as mentioned earlier, had those immediate statues to start the game. So was the suspect in these final moments in the game, and Graash moves on.
Yeah, unbelievable finish there. Because I didn't think like it looked like Crash was just kind of struggling to get to that mission one countdown. Got the Purloin off, but Yeah, gets the bug like right at the last second, and yeah, I don't know. Like, what was the ST just like picking up like just enough missions like right at the end to take the bullet for us? It's hard to say for sure. And yeah, I almost wonder if he was aiming for us, but no, I think you are right. Yeah, was going for the ST. Wow, that was quite the round.
Yeah, and our bug was actually visible from the angle that Guggie was taking, but because of the focus on red dress here, that was being, just lining up this shot effectively, uh, Guggie did not see it and didn't was not able to kind of swap mentally over to someone else in that moment,
Yeah,
and
you're
that
right. I thought the Soji was giving it enough cover at first, but it looks like yeah, that very early arm extension like was visible enough. Yeah, I think there's just enough activity to take Guggie's eyes off of that. Wow.
Yeah, and there it is. Graash with the 7-5, very close set. Guggie had some amazing spy games, some other games that, you looked to be potentially amazing, but did not quite come together. But Garage, in the end, holding it down on the sniper side, on the spy side, managing to get that victory. Well done.
Yeah, huge play. Like great game to both players, and yeah, huge for Graash. I think that was actually a come behind victory at some point. So yeah, just really just showing he can do the things needed to do to stay in these tough games. And yeah, I mean if you're looking for good games, I think every single matchup like in this group is just hyper competitive like this. So definitely many more good ones to look at within that group. Um, but yeah, congrats to both players today. I think those were both two 7-5 wins, both pretty meaningful games. And I think yeah, I think with that, Graash is pretty much guaranteed to move on. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct.
So yeah, with that, looks like definitely going to see more from Graash, and I think Guggie's fate is still undetermined because I think he has one game left with David W, if I'm not mistaken.
That
Um,
is, I believe, yes. No, it's actually Guggie is actually now with this loss all played out. It is now Graash and David W who are the only ones left to play. Guggie is 1-1-1 with one win, one tie, and one loss. David W is currently at one win and one tie. So if Graash manages to beat David W, Guggie could still get out on tiebreakers potentially, as Guggie and David W did draw each other in their match. However, Guggie had a better score against Hunu in this group than David W did. Both of them beat Hunu, but Guggie by 9-3, David W by 7-5. So as it seems that as long I'm doing this on the fly, so I could be inaccurate, but it does seem that as long as Graash beats David W in the last match of this group, Guggie will move on second place.
Yep.
okay.
Although,
And
so yeah, but if David wins, or I assume if David draws, he would also go through, right?
Yeah, if David W draws, then it'll be Graash and David W out, and then so Graash needs to win to save Guggie.
Yeah.
okay.
No pressure,
And,
Graash.
yeah, no
Yeah.
pressure.
I mean,
And,
depends
yeah,
on if you want to repeat this, Maybe just let David win. I don't know. Depends on who you'd rather. It's kind of in
Although,
Grash's hand.
if you let David W win as Graash, you actually get second place in the group yourself.
Yeah,
David W would win the group.
So go for the draw.
Yeah.
There are still reasons for Graash to play for a win here.
Yeah, it could potentially backfire. You never know, but
But yeah, that is going to be our cast for today. We have another one tomorrow with some more exciting games. That's going to be at the same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be with casters Corvus Mallory and Starzy. And yeah, very, very exciting matches, including one never before seen by anyone who wasn't watching it live in lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so that one is not posted to results yet, so a lot of you will be watching it for the first time when it gets casted. And also want to remind people there is a Swiss event that starts as soon as this cast is over. So if anyone's looking for some competitive games, maybe slightly lower stakes and lower commitment than joining one of these tournaments. Swiss events are a great way to do it. There's also the Megalodon Motel, which started fairly recently, so that's another good Swiss event. Where I think you have one match per week, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today.
Yeah, that is it for today. Thank you everyone so much for coming out and watching. We had some wonderful games today. Again, thank you to the competitors for allowing us to critique them when things go wrong. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but that is part of the cast. But we always like to get some praise in there too when things go right. And thank you, Kletos, for hosting us.
No problem. Yeah, it's been fun. Those were some entertaining games. I particularly enjoy the bold spy play, whether it works out or not. It's always at least fun. And anyhow, I think that's it. Thank you all for watching, and thank you casters for doing all that talking.
Yep. Thank you everyone, and see you next time.
Yep. Bye.